Yes, exciting. Welcome to Victorious Life Channel. I am Coach Sammy Love. I want to thank you for joining me this evening where I come to bring you a golden nugget life tips to help upgrade your life. I am doing something different on today. I am actually on YouTube on one camera and I am on Facebook on another camera. So we're going to see how this is going to work out. And if it works out good for me, I will do this every Wednesday night. I will go both live on both channels at the same time. But if it don't work for me, then I will continue to just go live on YouTube on my YouTube channel. So if you see me looking back and forth, that's because I'm trying to get used to this and trying to get a feel for this and how this goes. So once again, I want to welcome you. I am Coach Sammy Love. And on tonight, I got an interesting topic. If you have seen the title, yes. On tonight, we're going to upgrade our lives. On tonight, we're going to upgrade our character. We are going to deep sea dive, search within ourselves. We're going to look at ourselves. So what? So we could be better. Hey, anytime I come before you, I want to bring you tips. I want to bring you nuggets so that you can be empowered, so that you can be strengthened, so that you can be encouraged. Hey, MK, you missed it. I am on both channels. I am on YouTube and on Facebook. So I'm going to see how this work out. I'm trying something new. So I'm on both cameras. So anytime I come before you, I always say this: I am not coming to condemn you. I am coming to give you some information so therefore you can grow in your life. I truly believe that we should never get to a point where we are not growing in our lives. So I thank you guys for joining me on tonight. I'm not going to be before you guys long. You can also find me on victoriouslife.com. That is my website. For those on YouTube, you can find me on Facebook under Victorious Life Coaching as my business page. You can find me there. Those on Facebook, you can find me on my Victorious Life channel on YouTube where I post different content on different days. So, yeah, I'm doing big things. I'm trying to see how this is going to work out. So I just want to thank you guys for joining me. So let me tell you, this topic that I'm doing, right, it's called, I named it signs that you might struggle with insecurity. And how, what led me to do this topic? Actually, I had another topic planned for today. But I was at work and I was talking to some coworkers, and we were just talking about maybe different relationships and different things that we have been in. And we were in relationship with men that were insecure. And so we were just talking about it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something about that tonight. So I didn't want to come on here and just do it just towards men, because men are not the only ones that's insecure. You got insecure women, you got insecure men. Guess what? It goes across the board. So I didn't want to get on here. At first, I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll do a live talking about how to recognize someone that's insecure and these different things. And then I said, you know what? No. We're going to deal with ourselves. We're going to deal with ourselves. Let's look at us. Let's look at us and see, are we struggling with insecurity so that we can grow? You know, sometimes we can be so busy looking at other people that we miss the work that we should be doing on ourselves. So that's what made me come up with this title, Signs That You May Be Struggling with Insecurities. And guess what? There's no hate, there's no shade, there's nothing like that. Because if you really take this information and begin to look at yourself, maybe you may be struggling with it, maybe you may not. But it's always good every now and then to do a I always say a self-examination. It's always good to examine ourselves to see, where am I at in life? Where am I at emotionally? Where am I at mentally? Where am I at? Am I growing? Am I stagnant in my growth? What have I grown since last year this time? And so it's always great for us to look at ourselves. So that's why I went ahead and named this title. And so we're going to go ahead and get in here. I'm excited. Like I always tell you guys, when you come on my channel, on my page, bring a paper, bring a pen, tag someone. Let me tell you, y'all can share this video. You can tag some people in here. Tell them, hey, jump on. Coach Sammy Love is on with Golden Nuggets. You know, help me out. Bring some people in. Yours on YouTube, you like what you're hearing and you haven't subscribed to this channel, hey, subscribe to this channel. So therefore you can see when I go live. You can see when I post new material. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey, you know what? I always see people start to drop off when it comes to dealing with yourselves. But hey, why not deal with ourselves? We're so, like I said before, we're so busy pointing the fingers at other people. We're so busy looking at other people. But today we're going to look at ourselves. Let's self-examine ourselves. So, signs that you may struggle with insecurity. And what I want to say is not every day we wake up and we're 100%. No one is. Some days we got good days, some days better than the other, some days not so great. So, not every day you wake up 100%. You may wake up 100% 5 days, and then on that sixth day, you at an 89, you at a 90. Okay? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these things that I share with you on today, that you know that they are a pattern. You know that you have been doing these for years. You know these are not something that just happens every now and then. You know that this is something that happens all the time. It's happening more and more the older you get. It seems like it has not went away. That is what I'm talking about. When you continuously see it and it seems like it's not going anywhere. I always tell people, sometimes we put our head in the sand and think things just going to go away. Let me tell you, not confronting it, putting your head in the sand doesn't make it go away. All it does is make it fester. All it does, it makes it boil up beneath, but it never goes away. So we have to deal with it in order to grow from it. I'm going to say that again. We have to confront it. We have to deal with it so that we may grow from it. Here I go. We have to confront it. We have to deal with it so that we may grow from it. And until you're willing to do the work, to deal with it, confront it, to deal with it and grow from it, you will still be the same. You will be a 60-year-old insecure woman. You will be an 80-year-old insecure woman. And you could have dealt with it in your 30s. You could have dealt with it in your 40s. You could have dealt with it in your 20s. Wherever you may find yourself at, you could have dealt with it, but you refuse to confront you. You refuse to challenge yourself. And so now you find yourself older, still struggling with the same things that you've been struggling with for many, many years. So let's go. Yeah, I like that. That was a good one. Either you confront it, you deal with it, so you can grow from it. I like that. And that not even in my notes, but I thank you guys. So, number one, I said the first sign that you may be struggling with insecurity is you feel inadequate. And I don't mean like it happens every now and then. I mean, you feel inadequate. You feel like you're not enough. That's how you talk. That's how you think. You don't even want to pursue anything because you feel like I'm just not enough. I'm inadequate. I can't do nothing. You almost operate like a victim. This is what you do. You've been doing this for years, and this has just been woven into your personality, into your character, and this is how you act. You just feel inadequate in everything, in every situation, everything. You feel inadequate. You feel like you can't do anything. You feel like you're not enough for anything. Hey, Empowered Church TV on YouTube, thank you for joining me. I am on YouTube and Facebook. So you feel inadequate. You feel inadequate, but it's to a big degree. It's like you are really, it does something to you mentally where you feel like you are inadequate. You can't do anything, and it's almost depressing. That's what I mean. Okay. Number two, you are a perfectionist. Your perfection, I wrote this, I said, your perfectionism leads to unhealthy levels of self-criticism and a need for control. Yes, we like things to be done. We like things to be in order. We like things to be done excellent and beautiful, especially when we are dealing with it. But a perfectionist, it says you are a perfectionist where it leads to unhealthy levels of self-criticism and need for control. So your levels of self-criticism is unhealthy. Like you almost be cussing yourself out. Like you are really hard on yourself to a high degree, and you have a need to be in control of everything. You want to control everything. You have high self-criticism, and then you want to control everything, and you are a perfectionist. Everything has to be perfect. Everything, and if it's not perfect, it just does something to you mentally. It's almost like you can't push past it if it's not perfect, because you almost take it as I don't even know how to put it. Like it's like almost like when it's not presented perfect, you take it to look like you're not a perfect person. You use what you produce to what you use to produce, you make it, it's like you feel like it's a reflection of you, but it's to a high degree. I'm trying to think of a word, but it's like to a high degree that if it doesn't come out perfect, you feel like a failure. You feel like right back to that inadequate, like you can't do anything if it's not done perfect. If it's not done perfect the first time, you feel like you almost can't move on from there. And then you got to control everything and everyone around you. You got to control everything and everyone around you. That is number 2. Number 3, the third sign that you may be struggling with insecurity. You feel a lot of envy or jealousy. You may feel threatened or you may feel threatened by others or in competition with others. I'm going to say that again. You feel a lot of envy or jealousy. You may feel threatened or in competition with others. And I mean, it's like intensify. You anytime anybody shares something with you, you instantly get jealous. Anytime someone shares anything with you, you always get, you have this envy that comes up, like almost like a rage. You're mad, you're jealous, you fly off the handle. You always want to compete with somebody. When you're telling us, they're telling a story, you got to tell your story, and your story got to be bigger than theirs, because it's almost like everything is a competition with you. You got to make yourself bigger than the next person. That is a sign of someone that's insecure, that you have to make yourself bigger than the next person for you to feel good about yourself. I'm going to say that again. You have to make yourself bigger than the next person so that you can feel good about yourself. That is a sign of insecurity. When you're always got to be in a competition, you're always threatened by others. If someone gets a new car, they get a new house, they get whatever promotion, whatever it may be, you instantly get jealous. You instantly is envious. You instantly feel threatened. You feel these feelings, and you may not even tell people, but inside you know what you feel. Inside you know that you feel jealous. Inside you know you feel envious. Inside you know these things are happening, and you instantly always got to be competitive. You want to be better than the next person. They got to see you have this. They got to see you have that. It's always a competition. If they go get a 3-bedroom house, you got to go get a 5-bedroom house. If they go get a BMW, you got to go get a Lamborghini. It's always a competition. You always got to outdo the next person. That is a sign of insecurity. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm over here on Facebook. I ain't even looking at y'all. But that is a sign of insecurity. When you always got to compete with the next person, you feel envious, you feel jealous. It's always something when somebody shares something with you. You can't be happy for other people. And let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you the truth. A lot of people, some people can recognize it too, because I have recognized it on people that I share some with them, and I can see the jealousy in their face. I can see the envy in their face, and I wasn't sharing it to be bragging. I was sharing it just to be sharing it, but I could see. And I remember one time the Lord told me, He said, don't share. It was a particular person years ago. He said, don't tell her everything, because she would get jealous of you. And I knew why, because I knew later that she was very insecure. So anytime I would share anything with her, she would just, I don't know, it was just like her insecurity. She would just, some people, they're insecure, so then they would say things like almost like a hater type of, how people say snide comments, like they really don't really want to ever celebrate you. They got something to say, like, oh, they may see your new car and they say, oh, I see you got a new car. Why you get red? Like just that hater stuff, just that why you get red, your house is cute, but it could have been a little bigger. The little hating stuff. That jealousy, envy, this type of thing. So that's number 3. Okay. And then I wrote also for number 3, I wrote you focus on comparing yourself to others. That's still part of number 3. You focus on comparing yourself to others. I know this is good. This may be an ouch. This may be an aha moment. But hey, we're going to grow on tonight. We're going to get free on tonight, and we're going to grow on tonight. But you always you focus on comparing yourself to others. You can't do the work you need for yourself. You can't grow where you need to grow. You can't work on the vision that God has given you because you're so focused on comparing yourself to others. You're so busy about what others are doing in their lane that you're not focusing on your lane. And do you know what happens? Even if you just say we know what, I'm going to say it this way. We know what happens when you are in your car and you are driving and you don't look forward to where you're going. You're going to have an accident. So that's what happens with people who are insecure, that you're so focused and comparing yourself to others that you're not paying attention to where you're going. You're not paying attention to your assignment. You're not paying attention to your lane. You're not paying attention to what you should be doing. You're so busy comparing yourself and focusing on others. Eventually, you're going to crash. Why? Because you're not looking forward. You're not paying attention to where you are going or what you're supposed to be doing. And so that's number 3. Number 4, you may juggle different personnels. And what I mean by that, personnels, you may juggle different personnels depending on the context and the people you are around. I'm going to say that again. You may juggle different personalities, let's just put it, personalities, depending on the context and the people you're around. You struggle with your identity. You don't know who you are. So anybody you get around, you start to conform to who they are because you don't truly know who you are. And so what happens is you come off, you're not authentic because you're never yourself. You always get with whatever crowd and you become like that crowd. However they talk, you talk. However they dress, you dress. You get with another crowd, you act like that crowd. You are never yourself. So guess what? You are not authentic. And when you're not authentic because you don't really know who you are. So that's why you suffer with insecurity. You are insecure because you don't know who you are. Because when you know who you are, let me tell you this. When you know who you are, you will not struggle with insecurity. Why? Because you know the gifts God has put inside of you. You know who God has called you to be, and you are okay with who you are. And when you are okay with who you are, you will not be insecure. You will not be intimidated by someone else. You will not be threatened by somebody else. You will not be jealous or envious of somebody else because you know who you are. So when you don't know who you are, then you don't know how to be authentic. You fit whatever the crowd is doing, you do what the crowd is doing. You don't have your identity. And so that's why you struggle with insecurity. And so we got to get past that. We got to get past that because you're going to continue to struggle with insecurity when you don't know who you are. Let me tell you, my brother, let me tell you, my sister, God has a purpose for your life. I always say you were born on purpose for a purpose. There is a purpose for your life. God has great things for you, and there is no one that can stop God from blessing you. And just because the person next to you, your sister, your brother, or whoever may be, you may see the blessings flowing into their lives. Hey, that they're not taking anything away from you. Guess what? God has enough that He could bless all of us at the same time, and none of us lack. But when you don't know who you are, you don't know who God has called you to be and what you should be doing, then you struggle with insecurity, and then you're threatened by others. You are intimidated by others. I'm keep saying that. You are envious and jealous of others' success because you don't know who you are. Number 5, you fear rejection. This is the 5th sign that you may struggle with insecurity. Number 5, you fear rejection and abandonment. And I wrote, which can result in you taking everything personally or interpreting statements inaccurately. So you feel rejection, You feel abandonment. So sometimes people that fear rejection and they feel abandonment, sometimes they cut off relationships or friendships before they can get hurt. They cut off certain things, or they take everything personal. They always on the defense. Everything is personal. You could say this or that to them, and they always hear it the wrong way. They always interpret statements the wrong way. They all it's always everything is personal. They take everything personal. They take statements personal. You barely can joke with them because now they're offended. I remember I told someone, I always like to use this. If anybody know me, you know I talk. I'd be like, girl, shut up. Oh, you stupid. But they know that's how I talk. So when you know me, you know that's how I talk. And so I always tell people, you have people where I may say, girl, shut up. Okay, tell me again, what did he say? And then later on, the person calls me and they're like, well, I'm a little offended. I'm like, why are you offended? Because you told me to shut up. But what? You see what I'm saying? You have some people, when they struggle with insecurity, they get offended by everything. They get offended by everything. They don't, sometimes the things they hear, they don't hear it accurately. They take everything personally. You barely can speak to them. They're always on the defense. Every time you try to say anything, it's always defensive. It's almost like I don't even want to tell you nothing. That is the fifth sign that someone is struggling with insecurity. I'm helping you guys on tonight. I'm helping you guys on tonight. Let me tell you, I'm helping you guys. So those are the 5 signs that you may be struggling with insecurity. Or maybe you know somebody that is. Maybe I named most of these things I named, you know somebody like that. And you was like, okay, now that we recognize the signs, what do we do? Let me give you 2 things. I'm gonna give you some things if it's you personally that you like, you know what, Coach Sammy, some of them things you named, yeah, I struggle with that a little bit. I'm gonna give you some tips, some nuggets that you can apply to your life, so therefore you can grow past this. But also, if you know someone like this and you have a connection to them, I truly believe this is helpful. So therefore, you know how to deal with them. It's not so that I'm telling you like to cut them off, but when you know someone struggles with insecurity and they struggle with little type of things, a lot of times I find myself giving them grace. Yes, I guard my heart. Yes, I set boundaries. I always tell you guys about boundaries, guarding your heart. I'm not going to just let you talk to me any kind of way, but I find myself giving them grace because I know, like, you know, they struggle with insecurity. I know they're struggling with this, they're struggling with that. So I can find myself giving them grace. And so that's why I wanted to do this on tonight, because I said it earlier, we can always upgrade our lives. There is no condemnation. There is no condemnation. And we can always upgrade our lives so that we can be better. That's what I do as a life coach. I come to help you upgrade your life. I come to help you live life on a higher level. I come to so that you can live your best life now. That's what Coach Sammy Love does. I come to give you nuggets. I come to give you tips. So therefore, you can go from just being average to being great, even in your character. A lot of people think that character doesn't matter. Trust and believe character matters. It matters a lot. Okay. So I wrote down 5 nuggets that you can apply to your life to help you grow from struggling with insecurity. Number 1, you have to face your feelings. That's why I said earlier, a lot of times we put our heads in the sand and we want to put our heads in the sand and act like something doesn't exist. I said it at the beginning of this video, and I'm going to say it again for those who just now tuning in. Just because you bury your head in the sand does not make the issue go away. Until you confront it. What did I say at the beginning? I said you have to confront it. Until you confront it, you will never get past it. So burying your head in the sand does not make it go away. You have to deal with it so that you can grow from it. So what did MK, I don't even remember what I said. I believe I said you have to remind me, MK, what I said. I said you have to confront it. And then I said, I can't remember, you guys, but it's at the beginning of the video. But you have to confront it. So you have to face your feelings. I feel this way. I feel that way. I feel this way. Okay, so now I need to deal with this. Why do I need to deal with this, Coach Samuel? Because these feelings is not right. To feel jealous, to feel envious of somebody of their blessings or their promotion is not right. To be always on the defense when someone is telling you something is not right. I said you gotta thank you, MK. You gotta confront it, you gotta deal with it, and then grow from it. That's how you face it. You gotta confront it, you deal with it, and then you grow from it. Let me tell you, you guys, there is freedom from insecurity, but you have to be willing to put in the work. And so you have to face your feelings. Hey, the way that I'm feeling, this is not right. And I don't like feeling jealous when someone telling me something. I don't like feeling envious when someone telling me something. I don't like to feel to be afraid of rejection or abandonment. So I push people away, or I'm defensive, or when people are talking, I take things the wrong way. You know, people can barely talk to me because I get all bent out of shape. I don't like those things. Okay, so then let's face it. Let's deal with it. Number two, you have to aim. Okay, so when I was talking about being a perfectionist, that's what I was saying. One of the signs of being a perfectionist, and then you have self-criticism that is to the extreme. I said you have to aim for progress over perfection. Say it again. You have to aim for progress over perfection. Aim for progress over perfection. What do you mean by Coach Sammy? You got to celebrate the little accomplishments. Don't wait till the whole thing is done and then say, I'm going to celebrate. Celebrate little accomplishment. I always tell my coaching clients that. Celebrate your little accomplishments. Celebrate the little progress. Celebrate the steps that you are making. Just like this. Being free from insecurity. It's a step. It's a process. Celebrate as you go along. Celebrate your progress. Oh, I'm so glad that I'm not the person I was 6 months ago. I'm going to celebrate that. I'm so glad I'm not the person that I was a year ago. I'm going to celebrate that. So you have to aim for progress over perfection. We're not perfect. We will not be perfect until we get to heaven. Now we're on the road to perfection. So that's why we need to do the work so that we can be better people, so that we could be better wives, better mothers, better friends, whatever your role may be, so that you can be better. But aim for progress. I need to be progressing. I need to be progressing, because when I know that I'm progressing, then I know that I'm not stagnant. I may not be, you know how you hear the saying, I may not be where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. Hey, we have to celebrate the progress and stop looking for perfection. We're looking for perfection and we don't even celebrate the progress. Number three, I said challenge your thoughts. I'm always talking about challenging your thoughts. We have some negative thoughts. We can be our own worst critic. We can, the way we talk to ourselves is just off the chain. So we have to challenge our thoughts. When you know those thoughts are not your thoughts, because the enemy will put thoughts in your head. And when you hear thoughts that you are stupid, you are a failure, you never could do anything, that you are enough, them are not the thoughts from God. Those thoughts are not from God. Those thoughts are the thoughts of the enemy. And you have to challenge your thoughts. You are good enough. You are smart enough. You are pretty enough. You are this. You are that. You have to challenge those thoughts. No longer let those thoughts just run rapid in your mind and do not challenge your thoughts. I learned this long years ago when I first gave my life to Christ from Joyce Meyer book. She said, you got to think about what you're thinking about. And I learned that I got to think about what I'm thinking about. You don't have to let your mind just think all these crazy things. You can shut those thoughts down, but it's up to you to put in the work. So you have to challenge your thoughts. Challenge your thoughts. You know those thoughts are not from God. He will never tell you you're ugly. He will never tell you that you're not enough. He will never tell you that you are a failure. God will never tell you that. So you know those thoughts are not from him. So you need to challenge those thoughts, because the Bible says that God's thoughts towards you are good and not, his plans for you are good and not of evil. So he has thoughts of you that is major. And so what happens is you have to challenge your thoughts. I know this is good. I know this is good, YouTube. I know this is good, Facebook. I'm on both of them. I know this is good. So challenge your thoughts. Number 4, you have to affirm your own value. I'm going to say that again. When you are trying to grow from being insecure. When you say, you know what, I've had these traits of insecurity and I don't want to be insecure any longer. I want to grow from this place. I don't want to be an insecure person. Why? Because it is affecting my relationships. Okay. It's affecting my friendships. It's affecting my business life. It's affecting me. Let me tell you, because when you are insecure, it not only harms you, it affects everything around you. It's like you are an infected person, and everywhere you go, it's like you bring your infection and you affect the atmosphere. Let me tell you, you affect your relationships, your romantic relationship, your friendships, your job. Those things rub off on people when you struggle with insecurity. I'm telling, okay? So you have to affirm your own value. Affirm your own value, that you are valuable. Tell yourself, everybody on here, everybody on YouTube, everybody on Facebook, tell yourself that you are valuable. I am valuable. I am lovable. I am smart. I am gifted. I am talented. I am beautiful. I am enough. You have to affirm yourself. Speak life over yourself. Don't wait for others to do it. So therefore, when you show up, let me tell you, when you show up as your best self. Oh my goodness. We talked about being not authentic when you don't know yourself. When you struggle with insecurity, you're someone who don't know who they are. You don't know your identity. You don't know who God has created you to be. So that's why you are insecure by other people. That's why you are intimidated by other people. Oh my goodness. Number 5. I said, surround yourself around people that bring out the best in you, not around. Okay, so I said, surround yourself around people that bring out the best in you, not around those who make it a habit to point out your flaws. I hear so many stories about people who have friends that every time they're around them, it's almost like they picking on them, but these is grown people. And I couldn't believe, I'm like, they talk to you like that. It's like, yeah, that's why I don't hang with them no more. But these is grown people. And it's like they always picking on their flaws. And that takes me back to like elementary, when you had like the mean girls, junior high. You always had the ones that wanted to pick on the other ones. So you need to surround yourself around people that bring out the best in you, not people that's going to pick at you. There are people who pick at you. I remember that as a kid. Pick at you. Everything they pick at you. Why you got on that color? Why you wear your hair like that? Why you this? Why you that? Every time you go around them, you become the topic of the night. I'm going to say that again. Quit going around people that every time you go around them, you are the topic of the night. You are the topic of the evening. They pick you apart. They always point out all your flaws. Quit going around them. I learned this a long time ago. Be around people that celebrate you, not people that tolerate you. You got to pick your circle. You got to get in the right circle. I'm helping somebody on here because a lot of this ain't even in my notes. Y'all almost make me want to preach, but I need somebody to hear that. And I know that's for somebody either on here now or somebody on YouTube or somebody on Facebook, somebody maybe that watching on replay. Stop going around people that every time you come around them, they pick you apart. They pick out all your flaws. They point out everything that's wrong with you. You are the highlight of their evening, but you keep going around them. You keep hanging out with them. You keep getting invited to their parties. You keep going to their house. You keep going out with them. But every time you are with them, you are the highlight of the evening. You are the highlight of the night. They pick you apart. Oh my goodness, this is for somebody. Stop going around them. Plain and simple. Stop going around them. They are picking you apart. They are picking you apart. Surround yourself around people that help you to be your best self. People that will cause you to rise up. People that will cause you to walk in the rightful place that God has called you to be. Surround yourself around those people that want the best of you. Surround yourself around people that don't see you as competition. That everybody in your circle want everybody to win. That we all win in my circle. You have to surround yourself around those people. I know that was for somebody on here, because you keep going around people that you know every time you go around them, they pick you apart. They pick out all your flaws. They always picking on everything you do. They always got something to say about you. You are the highlight of their evening. I'm going to keep saying it. Stop going around them. They are not your friends. They are not your friends. We too grown for this. We too grown. We ain't in elementary. We not in junior high. We grown women. Stop going around them. If it means that for a while you're not gonna have a circle, if it means for a while you're not gonna have someone to hang out with, hey, hang out by yourself. Go to the movies by yourself. Go to dinner by yourself. Go to the beach by yourself. If that's what it's gonna take, but you do not need them a part. I'm stuck here. You don't need them a part of your life. You don't. Oh my goodness, you don't. They know that you struggle with insecurity. I'm going to go ahead and say it. They know. There are people, they know that you struggle with insecurity. So when you come around, you are like their little pet. You are like their pet. You're like their pet. It's almost like they wait for you to get around so they can have somebody to talk about, so they can have somebody to pick on. It is so sad that grown people would do this, but you have grown people that do this. You have to leave that circle. Leave the circle. Oh my goodness. And that was number 5. That was number 5. So I wrote in my notes, you have to be proactive with getting free from insecurity. You have to be proactive with getting free from insecurity. You got to be proactive. You got to be active in your own life. You got to be active in your own growth. You have to be active. You got to show up and do the work so that you can be a better person. It's all up to you. It's up to you. And I know that this blessed you guys on tonight because it blessed me. The signs of the signs that you might struggle with insecurity. So I gave you the signs. And then also I gave you some tips on how to get free from it, because let me tell you, you can grow from it. You don't have to stay insecure. No matter what has happened in your life, no matter what you have been through, no matter how people have spoken over you, you don't have to live a life of being insecure. You can grow from it, but it starts with knowing who you are, who God says you are, your identity in Jesus Christ. And I'm going to say that your identity in him, I'm telling you, if you seek the Father's face, he will begin to reveal to you who you are in him. And there you go, and you confront the issues you have had, and you therefore now you could begin to grow and grow into a better woman, grow into a better man, so that now you don't struggle with insecurity, and you affect everyone where you go. It's like a disease. Everywhere you go, you affect people because of your insecurity. It pours out of your pores and infects the atmosphere. You don't have to live like that. So I thank you guys for joining me on Facebook. I thank you guys for joining me on YouTube. I went a little longer than usual, but I know this topic was hitting on tonight. I love this topic because I always want people to be free. I want you to be your best self. Once again, I am Coach Sammy Love. For those who do not know me, you can also check out my YouTube channel, Victorious Life channel. YouTube, you can check out my Facebook. It's called Victorious Life Coaching. That's my business page. You can find me on victoriouslife.com. You can go there. You can book a coaching section. You can book a consultation. You like what you see here? Oh, wait till you book a consultation with me. Okay. You get this and more. So you can book consultations. I take one-on-one clients. I do all that good stuff. So I love you. I love you guys. I thank you guys for joining me. And also I have a surprise coming up, but I will let you guys know next week. I'm going to be doing something special for the month of August. So I just thank you guys for joining me. Facebook, I ask that you share this video, invite some folks. YouTube, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I ask that you subscribe to my channel, so therefore you can see when I go live. I love you guys. I thank you guys for joining me. All the ones in the comment section, I thank you for the comments. I thank you for the support. I thank you for those who are on YouTube. I thank you for the comments and your support. I do not take it for granted. You are welcome, Carol. I always come to lift you up, so therefore you can be your best self. I love you guys and have a great night.